Recording in progress.
Welcome back to the Heal and Restore podcast. With your host, of course, me, the host with the most.
Oh, yeah.
Randy.
Yes.
I'm not the hostess, but I'm the host with the most.
Right.
And of course, my beautiful bride, Cathy, the hostess with the most.
That's right.
With the mostest. Hostess with the mostest.
Hostess with the mostest.
I don't know.
Mostest what, though? That's what I want to know.
The mostest love for a lot of people.
Aw, thank you, honey.
Especially for me.
Yeah.
And our kids and our grandkids.
That's nice of you.
are.
Thank you.
So, as always, we are dedicated to helping couples and individuals strengthen their relationships through healing, growth, and honest conversation.
Right.
And that honest conversation is extremely important. That's the most important part to restoring a relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really is. So each week we dive into topics like communication, forgiveness, intimacy, family, and emotional connection. And speaking of conversation, that's a communication aspect that we all need to work on. The intimacy we talk about is not the physical intimacy, but it's the emotional intimacy that will lead to a phenomenal physical intimacy life.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because healthy love, sorry, my mind went blank. Healthy love starts with a healed heart. Tune in each week and take the next step forward in restoring what matters most.
Yeah.
Your relationship with your spouse.
Yeah, that's great. Your
Or
relationship,
your partner.
your family,
Your
even.
family,
It's relationships are relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like we say in the program, practice these principles in all of your affairs.
Right. So today, the holidays can bring up so many emotions. Here we are in, first part of December already. The first week has already gone by.
Yeah.
The emotions, sometimes there's joy, there's nostalgia. And, sometimes there could also be a little bit of pain.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about traditions that heal, not hurt. Mm-hmm. Because while the traditions connect us together, they can also carry memories that reopen old wounds and can be painful.
Especially this time of year.
Yeah.
And this season, maybe God is inviting us to rethink some of those patterns. Maybe it's time that we put down some of those old patterns.
Right.
And to build new traditions that bring peace instead of pressure.
Peace instead of pressure.
This is supposed to be a pressure-free time of year.
Yeah.
And with all the advertisements and all that, it gets
I don't know about your emails and your text messages, but my Black Friday was blowing up.
It's blowing up. So just remember, nobody can put the pressure on you. Nobody has that power. You allow it to happen.
Right. We accept it. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about when the traditions hurt, because sometimes we hold on to these traditions because it's how it's always been. Maybe it's something you've grown up with. But what happens when what used to be comforting feels really heavy? Maybe it's even painful. And, and I kind of ran into that. This has been many, many years, but I'd still like to share this because I feel like I'm not the only one that went through this. My mom died back in 1999, in March of 99. And so we had the whole year, and then all of a sudden Christmas came. And it was like, what do we do? And I did the first year, kind of all that I knew to do was to repeat all I knew. But for some reason, it didn't bring joy. It brought a lot of sorrow and a lot of pain. And that's part of the grief that we go through in these moments. But sometimes I didn't know that it was okay to recreate something new. So I just did what she taught me. That was all. Realizing that was just a cycle. It was a cycle of her cycle that I turned into my cycle. The same foods that we used to do Mexican food. I don't know if you remember that. It was not your favorite, but it was one of those things where I had to figure out what was going to help me work through the pain, but at the same time create new traditions.
But again, it's one thing we talk about all the time. It's learned behavior.
Yeah, no,
so
that's true.
We're learning how to live for ourselves, right? And break those learned behaviors, and that's uncomfortable at times.
Absolutely.
Really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And just real quick, but what happens when what was comforting? Right? So for many people, and I was one of them, a lot of times the holidays weren't comforting.
Right.
Right. And so that's something we'll talk about later, is that we want to make sure that just because it was then
Doesn't mean it has to
Right.
stay that
So
way.
we have to learn not to live in our past.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Right.
That's really good. So,
So, maybe a loved one is no longer here,
Yeah.
right? Or maybe family relationships have changed,
Yeah.
which happens often.
yeah,
And instead of joy, those same traditions stir up grief or tension.
Yeah.
Kind of what I was just saying,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It just reminds us that time of year, for a lot of people, it wasn't pleasant.
right. Yeah, and that's when it's okay. We could, all we have to do is really pause and we have to ask ourselves this very important
This
question.
is a great question.
Yeah, is this tradition helping us heal? Or is it holding us hostage to our past?
There it is right there.
Yeah. Is it holding us hostage to our past?
So one thing, real quick on that. One thing that, and it is a form of trauma, that we do often, a lot of trauma victims, and whether you realize it or not, like I say, it's trauma, is that we're bringing that trauma or those bad
Memories.
we're bringing those into today, and we're living out those memories, those traumas, those bad times. We're living those out today.
As if they're happening
As
today.
if they're happening
Yeah.
today, but what's even worse is we're rejecting them into the future.
Projecting them, yeah.
Right?
That's
so now that's, I hope that sinks in, because now it's time that, hey, wait a minute, that's not happening today. I have a family. I have
Yeah.
kids. Let's start making these holidays.
That's really good.
Our holidays.
I love that, yeah.
Right? And sometimes it means breaking away from family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Extended family, let me
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah. That's good.
So all that's really important, Kathy. Tradition should serve people,
Yeah.
not the other way around. We don't need to be serving the traditions.
Right. That's good.
So when I got it stored and I got in recovery for the first year,
First year we didn't do anything.
we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And I did that to protect myself, because most of my family were heavy drinkers around those holidays, and they respected me.
Right.
They did.
Yeah.
But what we started doing was, at Thanksgiving and at Christmas, usually the weekend before on both of those holidays, we would have a gathering on a Sunday at our house for Thanksgiving. And what we would do is, because in recovery, we grew up, I went through my recovery in Coachella Valley, and it's a big recovery community, and there was a lot of people there in recovery that they were away from home, and they didn't have a home to go to. We opened our doors to several people that, hey, if you got nowhere to go, feel free to come over on this day and enjoy, fellowship with all
And
of
in
us.
addition to just the people in recovery, we still invited our family.
Oh, yeah,
we still had our
absolutely. Yeah,
kids, our extended family, my brother,
Absolutely.
my sister, friends, other friends that would come.
Family,
We
it
just
didn't matter. Yeah.
created that Sunday before Christmas, and we would get 40 people.
Yeah, absolutely.
people coming.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, both
Yeah.
times. We would have 40 or 50 people. It was just...
How come I don't remember Thanksgiving? I remember Christmas for sure.
Well, maybe I'm off on that, but it just seems to me like we did
We
both.
did, yeah. We always invited people over.
Yeah, our house was always open to people that needed a place to come. The people were very, very appreciative
Yeah.
of it. All of them were. I remember one time, I'm going to say this. There was a person that came to one of our RAV meetings. We had at our house several of those RAV meetings, which was volunteers.
Regional alumni volunteers.
Regional alumni volunteers.
I had to think about it myself.
Open house, when we'd have 40 people, 50 people there. And one of the guys came up to me and he said this. He says, Randy, I've been coming to these things for several years.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I ever felt like I was in a home, like a real home.
Yeah, that's good.
I really felt comfortable here.
Yeah. So it is really important that we
it is.
remember that we're serving people. We're not serving the
We're not
traditions.
serving the tradition, we're serving people.
Yeah. So, sometimes it's hard to let go of that pressure. So I want to talk a little bit about that, because there's often pressure that makes every holiday look perfect. It's like the Christmas movies, the Hallmark movies, where everything is all perfect. Everything's decorated the same way. The cooks the same food. All
the turkey just looks delicious.
Yes, the host has the same gatherings, but it's all, sometimes that's coming from a place of obligation, and it's not from a place of love. It's not from your heart. Those are the things it's okay to release. when you think about life in general, we're not all perfect. Do you live Monday through Friday or Sunday through Saturday in a perfect home? Why does Christmas have to look any different than what it is?
They should look the same every day.
Yeah, yeah. And I know I struggled with this because of the codependent person that I am and the people pleasing that I have, that there was many times that I was hosting out of obligation. I wanted everything to look perfect. But part of that was because I didn't know how to let go. And I didn't even know that it was okay to create something different.
Right.
So that was one of the things that I learned through my process, is that it's okay to be not okay, and it's okay to not have everything look perfect.
There it was again. I didn't know it was okay to break tradition.
Yeah.
Learn behavior.
Yeah.
We're modeled all of our life a certain way to do things, right, wrong, or indifferent, and therefore we don't think that we can break those.
Yeah, we don't think it's okay.
We don't think it's okay.
Not only is it okay, but we don't even know how to in a lot of cases.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
the holidays aren't meant to be performances.
No, not at all.
I can't play Santa Claus and
You're not.
Jingle
No.
Bells. Oh, okay.
Well, you could, but
Well,
no,
yeah.
let's not do that.
No, I'm not. That's not me anyway. They're meant to be moments of connection.
I love that part. Yeah.
Moments of
That's the
connection.
most important part.
Sometimes connection looks quieter, smaller, and different than it used to be.
Yeah. You know what? And when you say that, I just remembered when we moved here to Arizona about 3.5 years ago, our Christmases looked quite different because we have family in California, we have kids in California, grandkids in California, grandkids here. We didn't even really know how that we were going to navigate that. And as your children grow older, they become involved in relationships and get married and have their own kids. They're creating their own traditions and their own holiday seasons. So for us, it was definitely different. And the first couple years, we would just go out for a nice dinner on Christmas Eve, stay in a hotel, enjoy the holiday festivities outside, and then go visit our son in the morning for Christmas morning and then come home. So we did go quieter. We did go more comfortable.
Absolutely.
We did do something that we wouldn't normally have done. And it actually, this year we're kind of looking at, okay, well, maybe we'll just have tamales and go to a movie.
There's
so
that Mexican food again.
I know, I love that. That's in me.
Yeah.
So, giving yourself permission to do things differently, it actually can open up space for your own healing.
Yeah.
And I think that was helpful for us, especially when we moved out here. We didn't know what it was going to look like, but it might be just skipping that big event, or just having a cozy night in with close friends, a fire pit, and hot cocoa and coffee and a movie. Maybe it's creating something that really honors where you are right now, and that reminds me of those first many years that we did the sober Christmases. That's where we were in that season,
Right.
And that's what was important to us. So we just honored where we were then.
And again, we made our kids very much a part of that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we wanted them to be a part of our life, even in recovery, and show them the better side of us.
Right.
And how to be. And now here's the thing, right? When we think about this last Thanksgiving, right? And Garrett and Naomi, now they're hosting Thanksgiving at their house.
We really just sat back.
We miss Alyssa and Jared from California. They couldn't make it this year, and we do miss them and the
Right, when our kids aren't there.
It is hard, but it's like, I can't even carve the turkey anymore. I just go, sit down, Dad, we got it. It's our turn, right?
Yeah.
So that's a blessing for Cathy and I to see the traditions that are being passed on. Now, on that note, our daughter and son-in-law in California, they have a great group of friends. Yeah. That they have a great extended family down there that they really enjoy life with, right? But it's just with Cathy and I, like she said, how are these holidays going to look? How's Christmas going to look? Yeah. We've actually, because it's the two of us, we've grown closer through these quieter times. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just,
life changes, your children grow up, they have families, and so we have to learn to navigate in all of those different seasons of life, for sure.
Of course, when we have children and we're still at home, the kids are growing up, of course, things are going to look a little different, right? You want them to have fun. You want them to enjoy the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So, we understand we're retired and our kids are growing up and so on and so forth. So we know that what we do doesn't apply to everybody. We just want to put
but it's something to prepare for as you're raising your children, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. When all of a sudden we had no kids,
we're like, how do we do this?
It's like, Who are you?
What do we
Who
do?
are you? Yeah, what do we do? Now
how,
that we do
how,
this.
now what?
Now what do we do, right?
So that's great. So I want to talk a little bit, though, about building traditions that do heal, because I think that's really important.
So what does it look like to build traditions that bring healing instead of hurt?
Yeah.
We just got a couple examples that we're going to give you that will help you bring some restoration into those times.
Into those times, yes, and healing,
right?
yeah, definitely.
So number one, start with meaning. Start with meaning, no activity.
Yeah.
Ask what helps us feel close to God and to each other. Right? Remember, it's a time to feel close to family.
Yeah.
Bring God into it. He doesn't have to be this preachy thing and everything else, but just bring God into it. Let him know that, hey, God, thank you for your son.
Yeah.
However you want to do that, whatever your tradition is. But it's a time to be close to each other.
Yeah.
Let past hurts go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Work on that throughout your entire year so you can show up on holidays and have fun. And then you're going to start building from there.
Right, that's good.
You're going to have to rebuild.
Yeah.
And it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
Number two, honor the past.
Yeah.
But live in the present.
That's
like I
key.
talked about a little bit earlier, right? The past is there. It's part of who you are. Believe it or not, you're the person you are today because of your past.
Right.
But you don't have to live there anymore.
You could live in the present.
Live in the present. Look at all the good that you have around you today.
Right.
And you can light a candle, share a story, or say a prayer for loved ones who've passed without letting grief define the day.
Truly define the day. Yeah, that's good.
Exactly. We understand how hard it can be on Christmas and holidays. There's no doubt about that.
Definitely.
Number three, serve together. Giving to others can shift the focus from loss to purpose.
Yeah.
Find a food pantry to feed those in need, or run a 5K that raises funds for a specific cause.
I've done that.
Yeah. See, the color runs, right?
No, the turkey trot.
The turkey trot.
I did the turkey trot, yeah.
They raise funds for a specific cause that's close to your heart. Adopt a family in need.
Yeah.
Right? That's basically what we did.
Yeah.
I talked about earlier.
We brought people in, yeah.
And make them a holiday meal. Right? Plan a visit to a nursing home, just to name a few. So that's one way that Cathy and I find that by doing for others and making them feel good, our hearts are full.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a way to really fill your heart.
Definitely.
In fact, if you're struggling, the best thing you can do, honestly, is to be of service to
somebody else.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're out there, you're struggling, maybe you don't have a family, find one of these things we mentioned.
Yeah.
Right?
Look for them. They're out there. They're all out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Become
definitely.
a part of something
Greater than yourself.
Greater than yourself, that's going to fulfill your heart.
Yeah, that's really good.
And then also include quiet reflection. Not every moment has to be busy or loud.
Yeah.
And God knows around the holidays it gets busy.
Yeah.
And it can be loud, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you just got to walk outside. So, okay, God, bring you back to the center, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes peace is the greatest tradition of all.
I love that. I love that. We have to remember, too, that healing tradition doesn't have to be big. It's not this big grandiose thing.
No.
It can be making a new recipe together, or making a recipe that a loved one made that brings you close to them. I love that part of cooking because sometimes I'll make something that my mom used to make, and it always brings me close to her. Writing a letter of gratitude, that is always key. And then starting a Christmas morning prayer before you open the gifts. I love that idea. It's just bringing God into that moment as well.
Look, your prayers don't have to be long, drawn-out prayers.
Just God, thank you for today.
Exactly.
Thank you for this beautiful season that we're in.
Thank you for my family.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you've done for us.
Yeah.
If you got a roof over your head and food on the table, you're better than probably 90%, 98, 5% of people in this world.
Yeah, definitely.
And that we have to be grateful for.
Yeah,
right?
I love that.
But when our traditions do reflect God, they become tools for restoration, not just routine. Remember, it's all about restoration.
So then, inviting God. Let's talk about that. Bringing God into our traditions. How what does that look like? And so I'm reminded of Psalms 34:18.
Yes.
And it says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." God doesn't just want us to be doesn't want to just be part of a holiday. He wants to bring healing through the holiday.
Right, exactly.
So.
the holidays is a really good chance to start your healing journey.
Yeah.
Really slowly, right?
Yeah.
If you were one that would go to a holiday function and have to drink just to get through it, to the point where you got not so nice, maybe that's how you start. You say, you know what, I'm going to go here this time, and I might have one drink, but I'm either not going to drink or I'm not going to drink and cause a big scene this year.
God just wants you, he wants you to work on that healing.
Remember this, that if you go to a holiday gathering, right, and you're with family, and there's alcohol there, a lot of Christmases there are, but you drink to the excess and you make a fool out of yourself, that's not going to make the whole journey better.
No.
Matter of fact, it's going to make it worse.
Right.
You know, in the morning you're going to wake up, your family might be mad at you. So that's a good way to start the journey.
Right. Yeah. Just bring God into the tradition and let him work through the healing.
Exactly. Now, look at it. He's not asking us to pretend everything is fine.
Right. No.
I mean, that's not what he's asking us.
It's unrealistic, really.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
No, it's not fine. I'm struggling, right?
Yeah.
But he's inviting us to bring the real messy parts of life to him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
And let him make something beautiful out of them. I'm not just saying this to say it.
No.
I'm saying it because I experienced it.
I was going to say, this sounds very familiar.
I mean, I had to work through a lot of messiness from my past. And, you know, and Cathy knows some of the holidays were a real struggle for me.
Yeah.
I drank my way through them before I got sober a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
But I worked my way through them.
Yeah.
And I tell you this honestly, it is only for one reason that I'm here today. Sober, loved by my family, loved by people. And that's because on my entire journey, the God that I despised for 38 years is now at the center of my life.
True. That is 100%.
He is the one that fixed me.
Yep.
I had to do the work.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I had to do hard work. But if it wasn't for God, I never would have been able to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
That's so good, honey. Thank you for that. But, you know, before repeating a tradition this year, just take a moment. Just take a small reflective moment and ask yourself, does this bring peace to my heart? Does it bring peace to my home?
Mm-hmm.
And if not, could it be that God is leading you towards something new, something that does restore your joy?
Yep.
So just ask yourself, does this bring peace to my heart? Does it bring peace to my home? And if not, God may be leading you, so be open to something new.
He may be talking to you. He's not bringing that peace and joy back to you. He may be saying it's time to do something different.
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly what he did to me on February 1st, 2006.
Absolutely,
exactly
he did.
what he did to me.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, we like to always talk about reflection and encouragement in our podcast because sometimes these are hard conversations, they're heavy conversations. Rennie, what can we leave for reflection and encouragement here?
Well, there's going to be a couple of things. We'll talk about this. As we head into this season, remember this. Christians don't have to be perfect to be meaningful.
Thank goodness.
Why does that one day have to be perfect when the rest of the year isn't?
Yeah.
Let me put it to you that way.
Right.
It's great. I mean, really, right? The best ones are built with intention and love.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It's just that one special day with intention and love.
Yeah. So good. So good. So we want to just remind you too to let this year be the year that you create moments that bring life into your family, not exhaustion. As soon as I said not exhaustion, pictured an old car with a bunch of exhaust coming out the back. That's sometimes what it could feel like if we're not breathing life into something. Traditions that honor the past but celebrate what God is doing in the present, what he's doing right now for you.
Exactly. That's what we stay in the moment. One of the hardest lessons I had to learn.
Definitely.
Right? Because healing happens when we stop repeating what hurts.
Yeah.
Start choosing what helps.
Yeah.
Otherwise, do the complete opposite of what we used to do.
Right. And that's one of the things I always ask our clients is what you're doing helping or hindering?
Yes.
Is it enhancing or is it hindering? So start choosing what helps.
Exactly.
And, you know, the most beautiful traditions are the ones that make room for grace.
Right.
That's the other thing, too, is that sometimes these holidays are hard, but we've got to make room for grace because grace is what gets us through the hard times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, thanks for joining us on the Heal and Restore podcast today. We know it's a blessed time of year. It's also hard for some people.
Yeah, definitely.
We hope the episode inspires you to build traditions that bring peace and joy and healing to your home.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to close, and I want to leave you with this. In my recovery, my mentor, he had me read the 11th step prayer, or the prayer of St. Francis, every day for 30 days. And there's a lot of powerful, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but there's one thing in there, right, at the end that every holiday season I like to put this out there. And I'm just going to read this real quick, and I'm going to give you an example. It says, Lord, grant that I may seek rather to comfort than to be comforted, to understand than to be understood, and to love than to be loved. Lord, grant that I may seek rather to comfort than to be comforted, to understand rather than be understood, and to love rather than to be loved. One of the early get-togethers we had in the holidays, I could feel Cathy, and again, it was new. Cathy's mom had died not too long before this. I could feel her getting a little edgy, right? And I knew it. And when Cathy gets a little edgy,
Tensions rise.
Tensions rise, right?
Mine and everybody else's.
And it hit me. It caught me. I went in my prayer room. I said, I've got to take care of myself. I cannot cave in to Cathy and her tension. I've got to be the man. And I remember I went into my prayer room, and that part of the prayer came to me. God, grant that I may seek rather to comfort than to be comforted, to understand than to be understood, and to love than to be loved. Yeah, I needed all those things.
Right.
But my wife, Cathy, needed them more than I did. So I put those three things, I implemented those that day in the practice, and I felt Cathy's tension settle.
Yeah.
And the day was absolutely marvelous because of that. So remember, right, we never know what some of our family members might be carrying into our traditional holiday meals or whatever. Right. So one more time I'm going to say it, and if you have to, listen to it again and write these down, or just look up the prayer of St. Francis. And again, when things get like that, right, or grant that I may seek rather to comfort than to be comforted, to understand than to be understood, to love than to be loved. I was struggling as much as Cathy with my own stuff. But as Ephesians 5:25 says, husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church, and Christ died to the church. I had to die to myself that day, which I was glad to do, right?
Right.
And it says, for it is by self-forgetting that one finds, it is by forgiving that one is forgiven, and it is by dying that one awakens to eternal life.
Beautiful.
So I hope those words can kind of give you some hope to get through these holidays.
Love that. Thank you, honey. So as we close this out, and we always want to offer this, is, if this message spoke to your heart, please consider sharing it with someone that may be carrying a little heaviness in this season. And remember, you're not alone. And if you find that this holiday season, or any season as far as that goes, is difficult to navigate, we would love to offer you a no-cost 1-hour discovery session. And this would be a safe place, safe space where you can listen, where we can listen to, what you have to share, understand the areas that you might be struggling in, and we'll explore how we can support you on your healing journey. So if you're interested in that 1-hour no-cost discovery session, reach out to us today. You can contact us through our website at www.healandrestorecounseling.com and schedule that discovery session. All of our clients have come through that discovery session. That's the starting point. And so it allows us to get to know you, you get to know us, and we share how we can help you on your journey.
If my memory is correct, and you'll remind me if it's not.
Of course I will.
We haven't had a person go through that discovery session and not sign up for us.
We have had a few. We've had a few, but it's also, there's different reasons why they haven't. Some aren't ready. Some just aren't ready. They think they are, but they're not.
Very few.
Yeah, no, it was very few percentage.
Some financially, right?
Yeah, so, definitely.
Remember, traditions are not perfection.
No, they're not about perfection at all.
They're about one thing.
Yeah.
Love and connection.
Yeah, I love that.
Is that it?
That's everything.
That's wonderful.
You don't have to ask me because...
Well, I mean,
in case something comes to mind.
Things just pop in our head out of
nowhere. In your head all the time.
Okay,
This is why we have fun doing this.
I'll take it. So remember this, everybody.
Yeah.
If nobody tells you they love you today, Randy does.
Cathy does.
More importantly, God does. Be blessed, and we wish everyone a very Merry Christmas season.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
All right.
See
Remember,
ya.
God loves you.
We'll see you soon. Have a great week.